Hi, Mom. Can I record this interview?
Sure.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Hacienda Heights, California.
Was it a good neighborhood or a bad neighborhood?
No, it was a very nice neighborhood in a family-friendly city.
What was your favorite part about growing up there?
I had a lot of good memories of being raised in, the same place my whole childhood years, and I had a lot of friends and family close by.
What were some of the activities that you and your friends would do?
When I was little,
Yeah, in your childhood.
we would build forts in the hills and ride bikes, and I always had a swimming pool, so I would swim a lot with my friends and basically play in the neighborhood all day long, and came home when it got dark at night.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So what led to you wanting to become a teacher then?
I always, when I was a little girl in school, always admired my teachers and thought what they were doing was making a difference in children's lives. And I always liked being around kids as I got older and just felt a special connection, with kids, and just thought it would be a very rewarding job.
Well, if you like being around kids so much and all that, why do you always get mad at me and Ethan and get angry at us and stuff?
Because I'm trying to teach you guys right from wrong.
All right.
Huh?
All right, homie. All right, well, what's your favorite part about that, being a teacher?
My favorite part of being a teacher is just I enjoy my days at work so much. Just seeing the kids in the morning all excited to start their day, and I love teaching them new things, and it's just very rewarding, and it's just a lot of fun being a teacher.
What grades do you teach?
Currently I teach second grade, but in the 16 years I've been teaching, I've taught grades kindergarten through 7th grade.
Well, which grade is your favorite?
Second grade.
Why would you say that's your favorite?
Because the kids are still young enough to love you and want to learn, and yet old enough to really be able to, grasp harder concepts and to really begin, their learning journey.
Have you ever thought about teaching older kids or?
I have, and I have in the past, but I really enjoy the younger grades a lot.
So, as you know, you're the best mom in the whole wide world. So, how did the way that grandma raised you carry over to you becoming such a great mother?
Well, grandma taught me to be a very strong, independent person, and she got married at a young age and had kids really young, and she wanted differently for her daughters. She wanted her daughters both to be independent and career oriented, so we would never really have to depend on anyone to take care of us. We'd be able to take care of ourselves. So she really was a good influence for me, being a strong, independent woman.
Was she like really hard on you at times, or
Yes, all the time.
were there times where she was, where she was punishing you and you're angry at her? And
I was angry at her a lot because she didn't let me do a whole lot, which I know now. Back then she was trying to protect me, but yeah, I wasn't allowed to do most things that my friends were allowed to do.
So she's a strict mom.
Yes, very strict.
Why do you think you're such a dedicated mother?
Oh, because I've always wanted to be a mom since I was little. And I just feel when you are ready for that big commitment in your life to having children, that it's no longer about yourself, it's about your kids. And I just wanted to be able to be the best person I could be for my kids.
So, what motivates you every day to work hard and be dedicated like this? You know, knowing that you're also a single mom. How do you keep it pushing and not giving up?
You and your brother, you guys motivate me every day just by the people that you are. Very proud of both of you, and I feel good about where we are in life and how we've lived our life. And that motivates me because I know, we're good people, and we treat people kindly, and we treat people with respect, and we work hard. And when you feel good about yourself, you feel motivated every day to do better and to help people. And when I had kids, I knew that I wanted to be the best version of myself to set a good example for my children.
Mm. So, when you were going through a very deep part of your life, when the doctors first initially told you that you had breast cancer, what was going through your mind, or what were your initial thoughts?
I was kind of just paralyzed with fear because I was pretty young, and I was worried about you guys, you and your brother, because I was in my early 40s, and you guys were still young, and didn't really know what my future looked like. And I gave myself a short time to feel sorry for myself in the situation, but then quickly realized that I had to be strong and fight and just keep going and do what I needed to do to get through it, for you and your brother.
Mm-hmm. So you felt scared for just a short amount of time, and then you had to get confident and know that you had to push through this.
100%. Yeah, just you have a period of time where you are absorbing the news and the information, and then you're educating yourself on what you need to do to fight the battle. And then once the battle starts, you just do what you need to do to get through it. And you have to, main thing is stay positive, and just stay focused. And yeah, and you just you pray a lot, and you trust the people that you trust your doctors, and you just keep the fight.
Mm-hmm. And how did breast cancer take a toll on your life?
Physically,
Yeah, just in total, like, how was it a big change in your life, and how did it affect you physically and emotionally?
I think everything happens for a reason, and makes you stronger as a person. You never really know how strong you are until you go through something like that. Physically, it took a toll on me. I just remember, because I was a single mom going through the treatments. At the end of the day, I just remember being so exhausted, because my body ached so bad every night. But, for the most part, I went through treatments pretty well, and I really can't complain. Um, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it all worked out.
And you did it all just by yourself?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did.
And so why did you wait until after you're cancer-free to tell my brother and me that you were fighting and going through all this?
I wanted to protect you guys because I didn't want you to worry. Your dad and I had just separated, and I didn't want you guys to be scared, and I wanted to protect you from the unknown. And so I chose to keep quiet about my cancer journey until I knew I was going to be okay. Mostly because I didn't want you and your brother, I didn't want to put you and your brother through any hardships or any hard times. I just wanted to deal with it and protect you and your brother.
Mm-hmm. Well, I remember when you told me, I was kind of upset because I felt like I could have helped you get through it, but I do understand where you're coming from,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's nothing more important to a parent than to protect their child. And I didn't want you and your brother to know I was sick because I didn't want you guys to have to worry about me. We were already going through other things, and I was just trying to protect you, the two of you, and trying to give you guys the most stable home life that I could, given the situation.
Well, thank you for thinking about us like that. I understand that. But how were you able to keep going on in your life knowing that you were dealing with this at the same time and you just had so much going on and nobody knew? How'd you keep this a secret, and just how'd you keep moving while this is all going on?
To be honest with you, looking back, I don't know how I did it. Because I didn't tell probably about 90% of people in my life. The only people that knew were, my family, and meaning, my mom, my brother, and my sister, family members, and then a couple of very close friends. But the main reason I didn't want anyone to know is because I wanted the focus just to be on me getting well. I didn't want the attention of anybody feeling sorry for me or worrying about me or worrying about my kids and what's going to go on, what's going to happen. I just wanted the focus to remain on the problem, which was just fighting and getting better, and I didn't want any outside noise. I just wanted it to be a private matter and just handled privately. um, I just didn't want any attention or basically I just didn't want any attention. I needed just to be left alone so I could just fight what was ahead of me, and I wanted to do it privately.
Uh, so what was the hardest part about going through chemotherapy?
Well, comes with a lot of side effects. The major side effect for me was just my body was depleted. It just ached so bad. And I just remember at the end of each day, when I would lay down at night, my body was just so sore. My bones ached really bad and my eyes hurt really bad. But other than that, I really can't complain. Um, you know, I really can't complain because at the end of the day, if that's all that was wrong, I was pretty lucky.
Yeah. How does chemotherapy even work? Like, what do they do?
Well, it's an infusion, so I had a port put in my upper, neckline area.
I remember that.
Yeah, and then that's hooked up, to a line where, you get infusions, and it's medicine, to basically kill cancer cells left in your body, kills all the bad cancer cells. And then I also got infusions of Herceptin, which was the good medicine, putting the good medicine back in your body. So I went through chemo for about a year and a half, and then I did radiation for, I believe it was 6 weeks. So, the doctors took really good care of me. So while I was there, I was very comfortable. I also qualified for a program. It was called DigniCap, and it is an ice cap that you can wear on your head. It's almost like a 7-on-7 helmet, soft helmet, and it velcros all over your head tightly, and it freezes your head, and that way you don't lose your hair. So my doctor told me about that, and I was a candidate for it.
Why?
Because of the type of chemo regimen that they were going to give me. I was a candidate for DigniCap to where I wouldn't have to lose my hair. And I chose to do that. I applied for a scholarship because I think it was a couple $1,000. And at the time, as you know, being a single mom, I couldn't afford that.
Yeah.
So I applied for it. I had to write about my story, and they granted me a scholarship to pay for it. And I chose to do it because I didn't want to lose my hair because I was hiding it from you and your brother that I was sick.
Dang, I didn't know you could do all that for a scholarship, and for, I know that's how that whole process went.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so it was very painful because they freeze your head to I don't even remember what it was, 30 degrees Celsius.
Did it hurt?
Oh, it was very painful.
For how long?
4 hours.
Straight,
but they would give me, pain medication to take, mostly like a sleeping medication to take to deal with the pain because it was like having a very bad migraine.
Wow.
Yeah, but it allowed me to keep my hair, which was good because I didn't want you and your brother to know that I was sick.
Do you think it was worth it
Absolutely.
to do all that?
I do. Because it allowed me to go through my treatments without any attention on me.
In what ways were you able to balance working, raising kids as a single mom, and getting treatment?
Well, I did have to stop working for a while when I was going through chemo because I was going through chemo. I was going I think it was every other Wednesday. So I was getting 2 treatments a month. And with that kind of regimen, it takes too much toll on your body to work, especially for me with commuting and the long hours. So I did have to take some time off of work. But I just remember, you were in 5th grade, your brother was starting junior high. That was a challenging time, for your brother, becoming a teenager, and us being on our own and stuff. it was challenging because I just didn't feel my best.
Yeah. Did you have any support from people who knew about what was going on during this time?
I did. I had a lot of support from my family and the few friends that knew about it. I had a lot of support from.
Who do you think was the most supportive? Grandma?
Yeah, my mom and my sister-in-law and my brother and of course my sister, but fortunately she doesn't live close by. And then my good friend.
What was a time during all this when you felt like you were at your lowest?
I never really felt like I was at my lowest, to be honest with you.
Really?
I just felt like I just kept my focus on getting better and trying to keep life as normal as possible for you and your brother. And I just really kind of had a positive outlook. I just knew I needed to do what I had to do, and I have a strong belief in, God and my faith, and I never really felt like I was at a low point. I honestly just felt appreciative that had a good team of doctors, and I felt like my kids weren't being affected by it, and I was just fighting for my family.
Do you think the way Grandma raised you to be a strong woman growing up played a role in, you staying strong during this time and, not being low about it?
Yeah, absolutely. I've never been a person to think negatively. I always see the positive in everything, or I try to at least. So, yeah, I think it's all about the way you're raised, and the people you surround yourself with. I just always try and see the positive in everything.
How would my brother and I create more stress or make things hard for you while you were fighting breast cancer?
Well, your brother was starting junior high, so that was, a challenging time. With you, it was more of me trying to protect you because I felt you were still young and I didn't want you to have to worry about your mom, and your brother was at a time in his life where, was becoming a teenager and it was all about his friends at that time. And of course, he didn't know what I was going through. So, it was a bit difficult, but, it all worked out.
Did you ever feel tempted to tell us at all?
No, I had it so set in my mind that I felt like I was protecting you and your brother from knowing, because I didn't want you guys to worry, and I didn't want any outside noise from anyone. So I really just felt like the best thing to do was to keep it as private as possible.
Yeah.
So I could just stay focused on getting better.
Yeah. If we did know, would there be anything that we could have done to help you get through this?
Just I would want you guys just to have stayed positive and not to feel sorry for me, and maybe it would have helped a little more if you guys cleaned up or helped out a little bit, but you guys didn't know, so It's all good.
What important lessons can you take from this experience?
I honestly probably learned that it is okay to ask for help. And, maybe sometimes you shouldn't be so private. You should let people in to help you. So I probably learned that, sometimes it's not a bad thing to reach out for help. Because there were a lot of people when they did find, when they found out later on, they were upset that I didn't tell them and I didn't ask them for help. But they understood that I was just trying to stay private with my journey just so I can get through it. And then once I got through it, I told my story. Still a lot of people don't know to this day.
Like who's someone that you're close with that doesn't know?
A lot of people,
Like who?
like friends of, like parents of your friends that you've grown up with. I've never told them my story.
Oh. How do you implement the strength you resembled during that time into your everyday life today?
I try and share my experiences with either my students or my coworkers. Some of them are, a lot younger than me and look up to me kind of as a mentor to them. And so I just share my, life experiences with them and try and give them a lot of positive, just try and guide them in the right way, to help them with things that they may need help with.
So you would say that the people around you look up to you, kind of see all the things that you've done in your life and strive to be strong like you?
Yeah, I'd say that. Some of my coworkers are younger, and a few of them I'm really close with, and they kind of know my journey, and I've shared things with them because we're close, and I just try and give them as much advice as I can, to help them out with things they may be going through.
That's good.
Or to give them, advice to make things easier for them.
What would you say to other mothers who are going through a similar situation to what you had? Dealing with breast cancer, all of that.
To probably not be afraid to ask for help. I've always been a person that has never really asked for help, so you're not really a burden to people. People want to help, and looking back, things could have been probably a lot easier on myself if I did open up a little more. So that's probably what I would say.
All right, well, thank you for sharing with me, Mom, and I love you.
I love you too.